guys ready? We're going to talk about Final Fantasy VII first, okay? So, Final Fantasy VII, the original game, has been re-released on Steam, all right? And the re-release is not being handled very well. People are pretty upset at the re-release for a multitude of reasons. And a lot of people are complaining mainly about a couple of things. Number one, the battle speed, right? So the game apparently forced you to have this insane battle speed. Like, we're talking crackhead, insane battle speed. And it was bugged. At first, you were able to choose your battle speed, whether you wanted standard, 1 times, 2 times, or 3 times the speed. You were supposed to be able to choose it. It released broken and you couldn't choose it. And everybody was on like hypersonic speed that made the game feel weird, right? So that's been patched. They patched it literally the same day. Now, the other thing, and the thing that I think is going to annoy people the most is the background blur. So apparently, according to a lot of people that are playing this game, they have this background blur that is ruining the environments of the game, like really bad. Nowhere close to what it was like during the first game. It's ruining it to the point where everybody's trying to make multiple threads about this situation. You got this person saying, I'm making this thread to make noise. I really don't want the devs to just fix bugs, but also fix the horrible blur the pre-rendered backgrounds have. It's really distracting to someone that played the original game a lot. You know, people are clearly having a major problem. Not only that, apparently the combat is having FPS problems. Not only that, the audio apparently is having cutting out problems where like some of the audio that's looped, for example, like the battle win audio, you know, and it goes into the song. Apparently the audio is like glitched and it won't play properly with any of the music that's looped like that. So there are so many issues with this game that people are just fucking pissed. And the sad thing is that we all kind of saw this coming because this is always a situation where Square Enix, or honestly just Japanese companies in general, I see Japanese companies do this a lot. Their PC ports, when they release it, there's always something wrong with it, bro. Always. It's like they don't really care to do a proper port unless they get backlash and then all of a sudden they're rushing to fix it. But I don't understand how you can fuck up an old game like this so badly. It's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, how is this even possible, right? Look at that. We jumped up to 440 people on YouTube again out of nowhere. So we lost 100 and we gained 100. What the fuck is going on with YouTube, man? YouTube's so broken today. Anyway, like the stream, guys. Don't forget to like the stream. So, King of Jamaica says, I can't speak to the 2013 version, but the original game on PS1 also ran at 50 FPS in battle. However, the battle menu itself ran at 60 FPS in the PS1 original, so it felt much better to play than this version. Then, if we scroll down, the blur filter is so gross. Imagine making a port that forces all backgrounds to be blurry mess because Square was too lazy to add a filter toggle in the settings. Reminder, do post a negative review if you want any kind of fixes. Sure, mods can fix this eventually, but that's just embarrassing. Wait, what's this? The author of this topic has marked the post as to answer that question. Mod it yourself. We shouldn't have to mod it to fix Square's incompetence. I agree 100%. Now, here's the funny thing about this, right? So the funny thing about this is that the original already had mods, and this new one is fucking over those mods. That's number one. Number two, moderators have actually tried to file for a Square Enix job application after they fucked up this game. If you go over to this article on PC Gamer, it says modders have filed a Square Enix job application after it ballsies up yet another Final Fantasy VII release, and they beg Square Enix to let us help you. Bro, this is actually kind of sad, right? Because the truth is that most modern day modders, like the super serious modders, they probably are in fact more talented and more passionate than the people that are hired at these companies. Especially when you're talking about companies that are just porting over projects, right? Like companies that specialize in just porting things over, especially to like PC and whatnot. Because all this is this is supposed to be the PS4 version of Final Fantasy VII, where it's supposed to have better controller support, quality of life improvements, right? Battle speed increase, all that stuff. That's what it's supposed to have. But apparently, even that is a little bit too difficult to do for them. It's so funny. The new version of Final Fantasy VII adds a 3-time speed mode, the option to disable random encounters, auto saves, and a battle enhancement mode that lets you recover HP and MP during battles and max out the limit gauge. It's worth noting, before we get to the complaints, that if you had the older version of Final Fantasy VII on Steam, you still have access to that, so there's that at least. So they added all this shit that was in the PS4 version of the game. I don't remember this being in the game where you can recover HP and MP during battles and max out the limit gauge. I didn't know that, but whatever. At the time of writing, Final Fantasy VII user reviews sit at an ugly red, mostly negative on Steam, with fans taking issue with frame rate bugs. Though in fairness, some report that Square Enix at least patched a game-breaking combat speed glitch, texture filtering, and in general, the fact that it feels like a worse version of the game than a modded copy of the old version. But we all said that was going to happen. We all said that that was going to happen. Every single one of us said that whatever this version of the game is going to be, it is most likely going to be a worse version of the original. That's just kind of how it, that's kind of how it goes. And it takes a while for them to eventually patch it and fix it. And then it gets to a point where it's like, all right, you can consider this to be the better version. But we all kind of knew this was going to happen. The OG 2000 release had modders that did all this already, from control support and button prompts to frames and cheats, but with better visuals and skins, wrote a player named James E. Ghost. I don't understand how they tested this and said, yes, this is a definitive edition of Final Fantasy VII. They didn't test it. They didn't test it. That's the problem. You know who else reckons modders did it better? Modders. The Tsunami Mods team, responsible for various Final Fantasy related projects, including the Cosmo Memory and Echo S7, has been tweeting its impressions about the new Final Fantasy VII version since it dropped. They're unimpressed. Why did they need to make the backgrounds look worse? The team posted on its X account, alongside a side-by-side comparison of some Final Fantasy VII backgrounds. It's one thing to release a new version that's worse, but to fully delist the better version is just, we must fix this. So confident is the Tsunami Mods team that it could do better that it's turned its dismay at a new Final Fantasy into a job application. You know what? I'm taking our shot in the dark. Square Enix, hire us. I'm not joking. Our contact info is in our bio, wrote the team. Now, I want to look at these comparison images. I'm curious if we could see what they look like. Let's see. Let's go over to their Twitter account. Okay, here we go. So if we bring up their Twitter account here, oh man. Holy shit. That's awesome.
Holy shit.
Bro, look at this. Look at the left compared to the right. I don't know if you could see it in the stream, but this is blurry as shit. What is this? What the fuck is this nonsense, bro? This is so bad. Why would they? This is really bad. You could see the texture of the brick here. You could barely see it here on the left. I'm sure on stream you're probably not going to notice as much, but it's really bad. I'm actually going to link this. I'm going to link this in the chat. I'm going to link it in the chat so that you guys can you guys can see it better. I don't think it's going to be able to be seen on stream as much as you could see on like directly, but it is so bad. Damn, bro. I don't know, man. Like, fucking Square, bro. I'll say this, man. They need to hire some competent people. They really do. I really think they need to hire some competent people and get this shit fixed. Because now it's going to look like Cloud is fucking running on a cloud. It's so blurry that's how it's going to look. Look, you could see Cloud's arm here. And it's so distinctly out of, like, you look like you have a constant fucking blur effect on. You know, like when you take a picture in portrait? That's how it looks. A constant blur effect in the background. It looks terrible. It's going to make the characters stick out even more than they already did. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. This especially right here. You can clearly see it here. This is so bad. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think they're going to end up having to patch this. They already patched it once. They patched it, I think, either today or yesterday. They already patched the battle fix. I don't know if they're going to patch this nonsense. I hope they do because it's fucking terrible. Now, from a story perspective, from what I understand, they have changed nothing. Pretty much. From a story perspective, they still got all the typical shit. They got the what do you call it? They got them still using the word retarded. Like, they haven't changed anything from my understanding, so that's good. But they got to fix this shit, man. This looks awful. Why would anybody want to play this? I'd rather play the original with mods. Truthfully, even without mods. It would look better without mods. This is how it looked without mods, and it looks better. You know? Yeah, when they patch it, they're going to mess it up again? Probably. The patch is called 7th Heaven. Yeah, you might as well just do the original and then install 7th Heaven. Yeah, 100%. All right, let's X that out.